There, and welcome to my review of Fantastic Four First Steps. Just a few weeks ago, we were gifted with Superman, and now Marvel's punching back with its own certified fresh film. If only every month was like this, and we, the general audience, continued to be dealt with superb superhero movies. So, how does this adaptation of the Fantastic Four and the first family of Marvel stack up? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. And before you ask, yes, these reviews may contain spoilers throughout. If you're new here, these reviews go over the pros, cons, and main takeaways that I gathered from the film, as well as my overall thoughts and opinions on the movie itself. If you have yet to see the film, please give it a watch and come back to this review once you are all caught up. This film is directed by Matt Shakman, best known for helming WandaVision, Marvel's highest rated TV series to date. So it's no surprise that Marvel handed him the reins for this film. His knack for layered storytelling and handling complex themes and characters is exactly what the Fantastic Four needed. And once again, Shackman delivers, proving Marvel was right to trust him. With that being said, let's take a moment to talk about what myself, critics, and other fans of the Fantastic Four and Marvel in general have been enjoying about Matt Shackman's newest film. The first positive would have to be the family dynamic and the introduction to Franklin Richards. Finally, a Fantastic Four film that understands the family aspect of the team. This version nails the chemistry and tension between characters. Reed is the brilliant mind, Sue with the emotional core, and Johnny brings, of course, his fiery energy. And Ben grounds the team with his strength and heart. The standout character for me would have to be Sue Storm. She's by far my favorite character in this film. Without her presence, you really don't have much of a story, as she quite literally carries this film to new heights. And while previous iterations of the team have left much of her character in the background, she is put front and center along with her husband, Reed Richards, played by the lovable Pedro Pascal. She was also the head of the Future Foundation in this movie, working to achieve global political peace. So as you can see, she's very important to this iteration. One of the newest additions to the family, other than the little robot, is baby Franklin. While the film doesn't come out and directly say much about Franklin, it introduces us with a taste of his power level, and the fact that Galactus wants him is a meaningful indicator of his presence in Marvel moving forward. While the story beats are similar to other iterations of the Fantastic Four, this presents enough differences that it easily stands out as the best iteration of this team that has ever graced the big screen. Additionally, the way the family bickers with one another is great. It never feels forced, and the way they show up for each other feels authentic. And speaking of moments, each character, or each hero, I should say, has their moment in this film. We see Sue on multiple occasions use her powers to great lengths, but none more impressive than pushing Galactus back into a teleporter during the climatic battle. We see Johnny, the lovable hothead, cracking an alien language. Reed Richards building the solution and displaying his genius level intellect throughout. And of course, Ben Grimm using his piloting skills to navigate the team out and around a black hole. And let's not forget about baby Franklin coming in clutch at a vital point in the film. All in all, the family dynamic alone is worth purchasing a ticket and seeing this film. Of course, brings me to the second positive I have for this film. That is the setting on an alternate Earth. Setting the film on Earth 828 within a retro futuristic 1960s is a brilliant choice. This isn't the typical MCU Earth 616, which gives the creative team freedom to experiment. Here, the Fantastic Four aren't just emerging heroes, they're already Earth saviors. Their tech is everywhere, their influence is undeniable, and their reputation is well established. Similar to Superman, the film wastes no time putting the audience in an established world in which these characters have been established and around for, I believe, 4 years. Another positive for this film, and arguably the biggest reason to purchase a ticket, is Galactus and Silver Surfer. Galactus is finally done right. No more space clouds. This Galactus is terrifying, whether it's his menacing dialogue or his sheer scale and presence. It was so cool to see him portrayed as close to his iconic look in the comics. In the movie, we see how powerful he is as he chucks Ben into space, stretches Reed to his utmost limits, and pushes Sue to her eventual death. Sure, Johnny hits him with his flames, but they are at most an annoyance to him. So yeah, the look, style, and dedicated approach to Galactus was so good to finally see captured on the big screen. His Harbinger, the Silver Surfer, aka Shalabal, in terms of CGI looks great, as the trailers had me a bit worried coming into this film. There's a scene in particular where the team is running away from Galactus and the Silver Surfer after Galactus declares that he is going to take Sue and Reed's child, where we get this team flying through space and eventually using the cosmic pull of a black hole to get away. It's a fantastic It's an incredible sequence and one that I can't wait to see again, especially on IMAX. We get more insight into both Galactus's and Silver Surfer's motivations and reasons for being that isn't overly complex, and it allows the film to continue without ever feeling bogged down by exposition. If you are hyped about Galactus and a fan of his from the comics, then you're gonna make your way to the theater to see him done right. So yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed the team itself, the alternate Earth, and its villains. However, there were some areas of the film that I didn't particularly enjoy, which brings me to the negatives. First negative or con would have to be not enough Ben. Ben mostly serves as a stand-in for strength. His iconic line, "It's clobbering time," is played as a reoccurring joke and doesn't hold much dramatic weight. That by the time he actually says it, when he crashes down on Galactus, saving Reed from being literally ripped in two. I would have loved it if the movie divulged more into his adapting into coming back to Earth as someone who looks different and is forever changed, compared to other members of the team who appear normal and can with ease turn their powers on and off. We do see a scene, a subtle glimpse of him looking through a glass window at a TV showing what he looked like before his change, and the TV is turned off, and it cuts to his reflection as the Thing. There's no dialogue, but it's clear that he is reflecting on what he used to be and look like. The film could have used more of this and more into his character. Oddly enough, his love interest is also mentioned, and we see her throughout, but never fully explored. And we could have learned more about this, about his personal relationships as well, adapting as the Thing. The second con, or more of a nitpick, is the film leans too heavily on Reed Richards. Yes, I get it. While he is often considered the genius of the Marvel Universe with 18 doctorates, a 267 IQ, and a resume that includes Columbia and Harvard, it should be stated that the rest of the team are no slouches. Sue is a decorated scientist with multiple doctorates in biochemistry and archaeology, depending on the comics that you read. Ben has an aerospace engineering degree and was a top pilot, as we see his skills in this film. And while Johnny is often portrayed as having a familiarity with engineering, the film should have shown more of the team's collective brain power and not just Reed's, as there are moments where it feels like the team is literally just sitting and waiting on Reed to come up with a plan. So yeah, we've talked about what the film gets right, what doesn't work for the film. Let's not talk about some of the key takeaways that I gathered from the film. Key takeaway number one, the strength of a family and facing challenges together. Each member of the Fantastic Four brings a different strength to the table. You have Reed's intellect, Sue's emotional intelligence and leadership, Johnny's adaptability, and Ben's unwavering loyalty. But it's not their individual abilities that defeat Galactus. It's their willingness to rely on one another, trust each other's judgment, and act as one. This film shows that true power doesn't come from powers, it comes from how well a team can lean on each other when the universe is quite literally falling apart or being threatened by a universal being capable of consuming planets. The second key takeaway would have to be the world you build reflects the values you carry. Earth 828 is a society deeply shaped by the Fantastic Four's presence. Their innovations, heroism, and influences are everywhere. From global everyday tech to interdimensional defense systems, nothing proves this point more than the people of Earth 828 and their willingness to collectively conserve power. Sure, some may have wanted the Fantastic Four to give up their child to spare the planet, but most were willing to work with the heroes, and this collective effort was felt. The last key takeaway is redemption is a choice, not a guarantee. Shalabal, the Silver Surfer, is a powerful reminder that redemption isn't something given, it's something earned. Her arc from Galactus's herald to Earth's unlikely savior is rooted in hard truths. She once justified her actions as necessary to protect her own people, even if it meant dooming others. But when Johnny cracks her language and broadcasts recordings of her homeworld celebrating her, juxtaposed against messages of the devastation she's helped cause, she's forced to confront the full weight of her choices. It's not a single moment that redeems her, but a gradual recognition that heroism isn't about saving just your own, it's about valuing all life. Her decision to turn against Galactus is driven not just by guilt, but also by accountability. The film powerfully suggests that redemption isn't guaranteed just because you regret your actions. It only comes when you're willing to change and accept the consequences. In the end, it's not just Earth 828 that's spared, it's her own sense of humanity that's restored. While it's unclear if we will see her or Galactus again moving forward, I hope that we do see both of these characters as they are meant for the big screen. And it was so cool to see Galactus as iconic and then his iconic look from the comics. So, in the end, Marvel has finally delivered a Fantastic Four movie that works. Matt Shakman understands the emotional and narrative depth these characters need. While there are a few missteps, in Fantastic Four First Steps, it is a huge leap forward for Marvel's first family. It's a strong entry into the MCU multiverse saga, and hopefully a sign of great things to come. It's a solid 4 out of 5 stars and definitely worthy of your time. In terms of end credit scenes, this film has two of them. However, the only one I'd suggest you stay for is the mid credit scene, while the second one that comes at the very, very end isn't worth sticking around for. And now that we're all wrapped up with this review, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you liked, disliked, or took away from this film in the comments below, and let me know if you are excited about seeing Avengers Doomsday next year. And I'll see you next time on the next Film Sense with Brian.